Hi guys, it's Marquis again with Marquis Talks Black. I wanted to come back around and to discuss another topic that's kind of related to the last episode. The last episode I talked about Chester Hanks, Tom Hanks' son, statement, no one can't tell me I can't say nigga, or something along those lines. Um, I wanted to circle back around and kind of discuss something that's related, talking black or talking white. Growing up, in all through high school, at least a lot of my black friends, or even some of my white friends, would say, you don't talk black. You talk like a white boy, which is generally, obviously, a way of saying that I speak proper English. And I think that that's such a ridiculous thing. I mean, you're either speaking English or you're speaking Ebonics. I don't believe in acting black or acting white. I don't think that I do. I think there's many different sides of me and whatever else. But I think that is it possible to act black and or act white? Yes and no. And I know I just said something a few seconds ago that kind of contradicts that, but I want to tell you a little bit of a story. I knew a guy. I used to work for a shipping company, and I knew a guy, and I'm guessing he was from the city or whatever else. And I remember talking to him, and he would always be like, yeah, blah blah. He spoke in like a lot of slang, a lot of Ebonics, and he was a white guy, and I know once or twice, he slipped up and he said the word nigga, and he kind of got kind of like a little weirded out because he wasn't sure how I would take it, but I was like, it's cool, and I think because I saw that that's who he was, this is probably a term he uses and on a semi-regular basis at home comfortably, but here's the kicker, like I said last episode, in a non-offensive way, if that makes any sense. He's not using it from a place of anger. He's not using it from a place of racism and or hate. He's just using a term that he's used to using that generally means person or friend. Like, that's my nigga. That was probably equivalent to the statement that he said. It wasn't said from a place of anger. Now, I have met guys who are white who was trying to act black, and that is the key term here, is acting. When someone is their natural selves, you can generally tell. If someone is natural in whatever their environment is, you can tell if they're being themselves. They're very comfortable with the things they're saying and the things that they're doing, how they hold themselves and everything else. If a white guy is from the city or an area where you would generally see black people and speaks in a similar manner to those people, that's not really offensive. That's just him being himself. I won't hold it against him, and I wouldn't want him to hold it against me. Vice versa, however, if there's a white guy, what? Let me tell this story. I'm a homeowner. I have my own house. I own my own home. I pay a mortgage. I pay taxes. Whatever else. When I was doing my home inspection, my home inspector showed up, and I was waiting for him outside my house for like a few minutes, but he showed up, and he was like, "Oh man, this is pretty nice. This your crib, yo? This your spot, dog?" And I was just like, I was just like, "Where? This your crib, yo? This your spot, dog?" It just seemed very. First of all, it was unnatural, so it was like a red flag to me. And I'm sitting there like, don't do that. Like, don't come up to me and tell me it is your crib, yo. Is this your spot, dog? Like, I'm a grown man, so I was like, no, this is my house. I have a house. I don't have a crib. I don't have a spot, yo. I have a house. I'm a black man with a house. I didn't put the black man part of it, but I said, this is my house. It's not a crib. It's not a spot. It's a house. And I think he was a little taken back, like, whoa, this guy's a little angry. But it was very patronizing. Like, it's just wrong to do stuff like that. And I think mostly because it wasn't natural to him. That's not how he speaks. He was trying to relate to me on an urban level, and that's really not how you approach people. It's disrespectful. You know what I mean? It's like all those McDonald's commercials where all of a sudden make McDonald's his hood, and they're in the hood and they're like, "Oh, yo, Shaniqua, he stole your Big Mac. What you gonna do, girl?" "Oh, I'm good. I got this other one, yo." And then they're rapping and beatboxing. It's all very fake, and it's very nauseating me. It's like, come on, like don't do that. Like, be whoever you are. So when he approached me in that way, acting black, he was acting black. He was trying to connect with me, and I'm sure it probably came from a positive place from him. He wasn't trying to be disrespectful to me. I didn't feel that way. I just felt that he went about trying to connect to me as a person on a completely wrong level. There was no reason, and I don't think I gave any indication that that's how I wanted to be dealt with. So it was really difficult. It was really weird. And in his defense, how would you know that? I guess I don't know if he's in the past dealt with a lot of hood individuals. Maybe that's how they like to talk to each other. Ask each other, this is their crib, yo, this is their spot, dog. I don't fucking know. But the whole basic point was that he had approached me the wrong way, and it just totally put me off. And I think that happens a lot of times. But you can always tell someone when they're being genuine. That's why when I think people use the term, trying to be black, trying to be white, there's no such thing. You're just trying to be you. White guys who might associate with black culture more, that's okay. Black guys who might associate with white culture more, that's fine too. That's just who you are. That's just your particular situation. And I think that the sooner we stop labeling each other, the sooner we can move on. You know what I mean? And I think that this kind of moves into another topic a little bit. It is not really 100% of a match with the topics, but when I was in high school, and this is something I think a lot of black youth go through, we might dumb ourselves down to kind of be more social or to fit in. I find that in a lot of minorities, a lot of minority youth, black, probably Hispanic as well, it's discouraged to be super smart or to be very book smart. It's like you want to know things that are popular and or hip or trending or whatever else. But I remember when I was in high school and I had an opportunity because I was exceptionally smart. In all of my classes, my teachers would come to me and they noted that I was getting damn near perfect grades with very little effort. I didn't put any effort into it because everything was easy to me. They said, why don't you move up to a harder class, to like a college prep class, or what I mean, something of that nature. Why don't you move on to something a little more challenging for yourself? And I think that I was more focused on the social aspect of school because all my friends were in the class I was in. I wasn't going to know anyone in those smarter classes. I mean, who was I going to be friends with? I didn't know anyone. So it was important to me to stay where I was. And I said no. And I think I see that a lot. A lot of black kids dumbing themselves down or trying to be the class clown to kind of stay where they are with their friends. And I get it. High school and school in general is very... High school and school in general is very social, but the fact of the matter is, your future is more than just those 4 years. So don't undercut yourself. Also, on a related note, as far as like the whole education and not dumbing yourself down for that aspect. Another note. I remember I worked at a title company. I used to work at a mortgage company. Then I worked for a title company, which was apparently spun off of the larger mortgage company. It doesn't matter, whatever. The point is, I worked at a title company. I remember I ran into a guy I went to high school with. He graduated like a year after me. So I was like, hey, man, how you doing? Black guy. I was like, yo, man, how you doing? How you been? Oh, man, I'm so good, blah, blah. I was like, yo, that's cool, what you been up to? Just been working here, it's cool. I was like, what do you do? I process titles. What are you doing here? Oh, man, I'm in the mail room. I was like, that's what's up. I was like, you doing anything else? Like, you trying to go to school or like, you trying to move up in the company? Nah, man, why would I want to do that, man? The mail room is banging. Like, I don't even do nothing. This shit's mad easy. And I kind of was like, all right, okay, I see you. Keep on doing what you're doing, bro. Keep moving. But then I thought to myself afterwards, I was like, I see that a lot, black people trying to not push the envelope, and it really, this goes for anybody, but I'm specifically talking to black people, at least the ones that I've seen. It really bothers me when someone has a position and they they kind of just don't want to go further. Like they get really comfortable. I mean, it's not my life, you know. You can do what you want with yours, you know. But I work in a corporate setting, and I see a fair amount of black people working there, you know, on a regular basis. But the thing is, all the black people I see working are janitors, and it's like, come on, like if you're working towards something else, that's fine. Because believe me, I've had almost literally every job under the sun. I probably worked more than 20 jobs, and I started working when I was 17. So yeah, and trust me, I'm not even 30 yet. So let's put it that way. I've had a lot of jobs. You know, some of them were temps. Some people are like, oh, that's very telling of who you are. You work like 20 jobs. You're only blah, 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 blah. Right. I got it. But you know, I've worked a lot of jobs. I've seen a lot of things. I've been a lot of places. But what I find is that, at least you know, in my own travels, I can't speak to every black person, but push yourself more. You know, a lot of black people I might find are janitors. You know, push yourself further. Try to do more. You know, if there's an opening for another job, take it. You know, take that other job. Diversify your shit. I'm tired. Diversify your resume. You really want to have a varied resume. You want to have a lot of experience, a lot of skill, you know, and a strong educational background. I think that a lot of black people sell themselves short by simply not even trying. You know, like I said, I work in a corporate setting, and that's fine. But I'm literally the only black guy in my department, and it's like, come on, man, like try harder, you know, try harder. And it upsets me, I think, when I see a black person not working to their full potential, or not even trying to see where they can go in life if they tried a little bit harder. Obviously, this is not just a black thing. I'm sure people are going to get me like, well, you act like just black people are doing. No, no, no. I got plenty of friends on Facebook. You know, I know plenty of people. I know a very close friend of mine who's white, who's very comfortable with his lifestyle. And I won't say comfortable in that he's satisfied, because to me, comfort and satisfaction are two different things. But you know, he's not really pushing himself to be, you know, his full potential. And I think it can happen to anybody. I'm just tired of seeing it happen to black people. So that's all I really have to say about that. At least for now. You know, I mean, that's all I have to say forever. It wouldn't really be a web series. But yeah. So that's this episode of Marquis Talks Black. Thank you guys for joining me. Thank you for giving me your time, your ears, your eyes, your clicks, your Facebook time, whatever. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you later.